What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 8. So if you haven't seen the 8th episode of Season 3 of Raising Kanan, turn this video off, go watch the episode, and come back and watch this video. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. It is a simple and free way to support my channel. Help me get my engagement up. Help me build my channel. If you fuck with me, support me, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's free and it's so simple to do. It takes less than 4 seconds to do. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when I post. And I'm not a public speaker, so I will tend to fumble my words. You'll hear me say, so, like, 1,000 times. I might stop to regain my thoughts. I might talk slower to regain my thoughts. But definitely be looking at my notes that I take throughout the show. And anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. And comment below what you thought of this episode, what you would grade it, if I forgot anything particular, was off on anything particular, let me know in the comments. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews because sometimes I'll be changing my mind in the middle. So I'm trying to think what happened on this damn episode. This episode was good. This episode was, yeah, it was definitely good. I'm going to give it a B+. I liked it. I like this episode. Maybe A-. We'll see. I got C. Guys, I talk about it. We'll see. So, Last Chance, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 8. If you haven't seen this, about to spoil the entire episode, so you need to turn this off if you haven't seen it. Oh, a swig of water before I start. Alright, so the first scene, you know, I wake and bake. I just woke up, brushed my teeth, washed my face, and now I am ready to smoke. I look high though, it's crazy, but I just woke up. Anyway, the first scene is Lou ass. I don't know how to feel about Lou, man. I know he going through it, but he need to chill. So we get to scene Lou. He shows up to Rock's place. He outside drunk, yelling, "Who else you want me to kill?" And you neighbors need to know we straight up killers. Da 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 da. And Rock has to pull him in the house. Then we get a scene where Kanan and Ronnie, they meeting with Snaps and Pops. I don't know why we needed this scene, but basically, like, Snaps and Pops basically, like, going on and on. Even Ronnie chimes in at one point about, Kanan's supposedly father, DEFCON. They was talking about how much he was respected and this, that, and the third. And how much they see Kanan in him. They talk about it, ask Kanan, like, would you rather be feared or respected? And he like, you can't be respected without being feared, you know. So they talk about that. Then Mark comes over. I said Mark. Marvin comes over to Rock's place to see Lou for himself, basically. You know, Rock going off about it. Your brother's going to get us all jammed up. So, Juke and Aisha, they hanging out, and, Aisha notices Juke's picture on the wall, the pictures of her and Nicole. You know, her girlfriend, the white girl that died or whatever. So Aisha get to asking, like, why did you guys break up? So Juke tells her, like, we didn't break up. Nicole actually died. So, of course, Aisha's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, thanks for telling me, you know. So back at Rock's place, she's telling Marvin that she called their mother to babysit. And I don't know why I was like, okay, the mom about to be at the house babysitting Lou, so maybe they're going to get more into I was thinking maybe they're going to get more into conversation about what really happened to Rock and them father. Because, you know, every time they mother bring up, your father, he let this life take him down and all that, and Lou was like, that ain't what took him down. He said that about twice now, so I'm thinking that they're going to have a conversation and it's going to let us know what actually happened to his father, but that didn't happen. I feel like that was an opportunity, but whatever. So Roxy telling Marvin, like, I called Mom to come babysit Lou. Then she tells Marvin, like, I heard Kanan and Ronnie in the business together. I need to know what type of business it is. So this is when Marvin, because remember Marvin found out a while back that Kanan was selling weed. So this is when he admits to Rock that he knew that Kanan was selling weed. And Rock like, oh, no, it can't be no nickel and diamond shit if Ronnie involved. And snaps and pops. So then Marvin's like, oh, snaps and pop, he working with them? I thought they was retired. And what's her name? Rock like, apparently not. So then she tells Marvin she got to meet with Quam because he done heard about some new drug. It's some competition or something like that. Then Rock starts talking about like, maybe I bought this on myself. But she says, but the one thing about me, I'm the only one that's willing to face the mirror. So Marvin's like, well, my whole life now is about looking in the mirror. And Rock's like, you like who looking back at you? Marvin's like, I'm starting to. I mean, he's trying to do good, but he's still doing this wild shit for his sister and himself in a way. So Rock's like, oh, your brother don't like who looking back at him, and that's the problem, and that's his problem, not my problem. I just feel like, man, I still feel like if them cops wouldn't have stopped Rock from going to Lou's event that night, I feel like they probably would have been in a better space, and Lou probably wouldn't have drank, or like he wouldn't have been drinking and doing all he doing now. So I'm still mad that she got stopped from going to that party. So let me get this little scene as Kanan, Snap, Pops, Ronnie, they all leaving out the whatever that place is they was in. Popsy basically talking to Ronnie about who he fucking or some woman he was hitting. He don't remember her name. I'm just like, irrelevant conversation. So then Snap, he asking Kanan, your mother know you dealing dope? I'm like, even though she does know, wouldn't y'all think that she doesn't? Because Kanan just told y'all in the last episode that he didn't want his mother involved. So if he don't want his mother involved, then he would assume that she doesn't know, and that y'all would know that she doesn't know either. I was like, I don't know why you asked him that if he told y'all he didn't want his mother involved. So he would hope that she doesn't know. But either way, in that moment, Kanan's like, oh, I don't care if she knows. So then Snaps tells Kanan that Rock is getting her work from Italian/Vietnamese Connect. You know, you're talking about Stefano and Quam. So he like, you know, your mom is competition out here and she good at what she does. And Kanan's like, and so am I. This nigga, just like what Rock said towards the end of the episode, like this nigga just trying to show out for his mama. He ain't about this life for real. The weed shit was fine. So Rock and Lou and Marvin, they mom, she arrives to Rock's place. Rock's like, oh, Lou upstairs sleep. Just make sure he don't leave the house. So Rock about to leave out, and her mother put her hand out like, you don't got nothing for me? So Rock, she gives her some cash. Basically just gave her cash for nothing because that bitch wasn't bought babysitting shit. So Marvin, he watching Kanan and Ronnie from his car. He sees Kanan give the courier like a brown paper bag, so he starts telling the courier. So then we get this scene, Rock meets back up with the guy from that trucking company that we saw last episode who was telling him who told her he only sells to Chinese people. So his name is Terry, and then him and his brother run the trucking company together. His brother named David. But his brother David is supposed to be like a junkie and not really built for the company and things like that. And I'm like, oh, they meeting with Rock. So I'm like, oh, so they must have looked her up and was like, oh yeah, we could probably do some business with her. Because like last episode, he wasn't feeling her. So he must have looked Rock up and was like, oh no, we could do some business with her. So Rock's telling them that Terry and David, she's telling them, y'all won't even have to do anything. Like, I have my own guys unloading the trucks and things like that. All I need is for y'all to leave us some space. So then Terry, he asks Rock, like, what is your deal with Hong? So I'm assuming Hong is the uncle of the Chinese guy that runs that restaurant with his wife. That's what I'm assuming Hong is. They never said his name yet, I don't think. So he asking about what deal do you have with Hong? And Rock basically, in not too many words, I can't remember what she said verbatim, but she basically like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what my deal is. So Terry telling Rock, like, whatever the deal is, I want the same deal. I want the same deal that you got with Hong. I want the same deal. So David, he basically on the other end. He like, I like Rock's initial offer. Like, I don't feel like we should have the same deal as Hong. I feel like she already offering us enough, this, that, and the third. So Terry not trying to listen to him. They have like a disagreement. David, he ends up storming out. Rock's like, look, I made my offer. Terry's like, I made my decision. So they kind of at a standstill. Terry not trying to budge for now. Then they flash back to Marvin. He's still tailing the courier. Then we get to scene Butter. They rehearsing. Juke is in the lead position at the time. After they done, the manager tells Juke that she's the new group lead, and of course the girl Crystal is jealous. But she tells the group, the manager lady, she tells the group, if I feel like Juke not holding up her end of the bargain, or I feel like somebody else outshining Juke, then changes can be made. Like, basically somebody else can be lead. So she's like, you guys got one more rehearsal before your big performance. So I'm like, okay, I wonder how this, I feel like the performance is what's going to go bad and make Juke turn to going back to the R&B, because we see in this, I done dropped the J. We see in this episode that she trying to tell the army that she don't want to do it no more. So after that good news for Juke, Crystal, she storms out of the room. She not feeling it. Aisha, she a neutral party, so she congratulates Juke. And then as her and Juke are leaving the building, they see Kanan and Crystal outside kissing, making out. And Juke trying to go over there to handle it. Aisha like, nah, leave it alone. She brushes it off. It's like no big deal. If you ask me, you dodged the bullet, Aisha. Let Crystal handle that. Let her deal with that. So when we get to seeing Marvin, he knocked the courier off his bike, starts checking his bag to see what they selling or whatever. He's like, y'all moving heroin? That get you this many years in prison and all that. Dude was like, I'm just a courier. Like, well, you need to know what you're carrying can get you this much time. Lou wakes up, leaves the damn house. Mom don't even try to stop. I'm going to tell him I tried to stop you, girl. And it's just like, what? Rock, I feel like she knew that their mother was not going to watch him or babysit him, if you will. Like, I don't know. I don't know what she thought was going to happen there. We don't even see that many scenes with the mom, but I knew that she was not going to make him stay. And now that we know Lou be losing his memory when he drunk, he probably don't even remember coming to Rock's house doing all that. Probably woke up like, how the fuck I'm in Rock's house? So then we get this saying Burke's dad, Shannon Burke's dad, she goes to Nicole's dad. Nicole, the girl that Juke was dating that died. So she's like, we both lost daughters. I'm just trying to make a sense of why we lost them or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit, they about to start putting two and two together and try to come for Juke or something. I don't know. It made me nervous seeing them two talk. So Rock, she meets up with Kwame and he's showing her the same drug that Marvin just sold on the courier. that Ronnie and Kanan's pushing. But at the time, Rock don't know who pushing it. So he tells Rock, like, you gotta make an example of this competitor, whoever this is. So Rock's like, I'll handle it. And then Quam's like, and you not keeping up your end of the deal. Like, where's the expansion? And she's like, I'm still moving the pieces around. I can handle it. So now Quam feeling away. He's like, you making the same moves Neek was making. No moves at all, I guess. So now we back with Burke and Burke's dad and Nicole's dad, and Burke's dad is basically like defending Shannon against the giving the drugs some minors thing, because that was a part of her IAD investigation, is that she was supposed to have gave these minors drugs. So Burke's dad, he's defending that. He's like, my daughter would never do that. So then Nicole's dad tells Burke's dad, I was skeptical about Burke's involvement in Nicole's death. He was like, until a detective came and told me that she may have been involved. And at first he wasn't trying to tell actually he didn't even have to tell Burke's dad who the detective was. Burke's dad was like, you talking about Howard. And I was like, oh shit. Then we get Lou stopping by the club, but basically he gives Shirley Famous's song. I guess he done mixed and mastered it or whatever. Shirley tries to ask him what's wrong. He's just like, what's not wrong? He really ain't feeling it. He like, I be gone. I don't know when I'm coming back. So Rock, she gets to Marvin's place and she's showing him the drug of their competition. And this is when Marvin has to tell Rock, Kanan and Ronnie pushing that. Then he also tells her that Lou is in the win. That nigga is gone. And Marvin like, you should have known she wasn't gonna watch him. Like, I don't even know what you was thinking, Rock. So Rock tells Marvin about Quan wanting her to make an example of the competition. She's like, she gonna handle Kanan, but she need Marvin to handle the trucks. Not even so much the trucks, like handle Terry, because Terry said no, so they gotta get him to say yes. So Marvin, he like, I feel like our first priority should be finding Lou. And Rock, she like, oh no, that's the problem. He always a distraction. We ain't got time for him. We need to get this money. Don't you want to make money? Da da da. She got to deal with a lot now that she back in. She ain't never leave for real, for real. So one of the agents in the, I'm assuming in the task force, in the organized crime task force, he pulls Howard aside and he tells him that basically Marvin's looking like good for their #1 suspect as far as the task force or whatever. He checks all the boxes and all that. He tells Howard, like, so when you do become the boss, I heard you moving up or something like that, you need to hit the ball running and see what else you can get on Marvin. So I'm like, oh shit, they zeroing in on Marvin. I feel like Howard is willing to let Marvin go down before Rock, so that's probably why he didn't tell Rock that they was looking into Marvin. And Rock got Marvin out here making all these moves. I should have brought my other light up here. So Famous, he gets to the club and Shirley gives him his song that Lou left for him. She tells him his music really good. She like his music. So Famous, he asks how long Lou will be gone, and Shirley's like, oh, I don't know, maybe days, maybe weeks. So Famous, he takes a chance to ask her if he could use the studio while Lou's not there. And first Shirley's hesitant because she's like, it's not my equipment to let you use. But then they make a deal if he helps her out around the club and things like that, he could use the studio. And I'm glad they made that agreement because I don't feel like Famous would do any wild shit but just being there recording. And I feel like that's what he needed to be in the booth instead of out there doing dumb shit with Kanan. Speaking of dumb shit with Kanan and Crystal, they got Kanan's now place they used to be Famous's. I still can't believe he kicked this nigga out of his own place. Vanessa got kicked out of her own place too by Ronnie. This shit's crazy. Either way, so Kanan, he at his place, he laid up with Crystal. And the fucking social worker shows up. I said, I can't believe Rock actually gave this lady the address where he would be. This is her way of taking down the competition because the competition is her son. So the social worker, she shows up on Kanan and tells him that Rock told her that he ain't been home. He ain't been sleeping at home. She tells him that Rock told her you ain't been sleeping at home. Then she tells Kanan, you got 24 hours to report home or I'm bringing the police back and arresting you. I was like, sheesh. He left her in the apartment. They was just in there smoking a blunt, so I know it smelled like weed in there. Then he got a girl in there who looked like she just woke up from staying the night, so it just looked wild all over. This nigga Kanan just don't care. So then we get this scene, Rock. She has to sit down with Snaps and Pop. So, she basically telling them, y'all need to step away from Kanan. He just trying to be a big boy. He ain't about that life. So Snaps, he's like, Snaps and Pop, we wasn't blessed to have a child of our own. So we definitely sympathetic to a mother and a child. They're like, Kanan is just barely an acquaintance. He's an associate of an associate. So Rock's like, Ronnie and Kanan working together. So basically, that's you involved. So Pop's like, well, we just fronted him some money. That's it. We just fronted Ronnie some cash flow. So Rock's like, well, I know y'all not going to tell me who's supplying Kanan. I don't even think they know. I don't think Kanan knows. Nobody knows that Julian is supplying Ronnie. So even though they don't know, of course they wouldn't tell her, but they don't even know to tell her. So she's like, I know y'all not going to tell me who's supplying Kanan, but stay away from him. And Snaps is like, I know it takes a village to raise a child, but we are not a part of Kanan's village, so we're going to basically do whatever the fuck we want. So Rock get there, y'all don't know who I got behind me. So like, who you talking about? Stefano? They start laughing. They like, man, Stefano, he only fucking with you until we tell him to stop. Like, they was like, we done introduced that nigga to black pussy before your ass was even out of grade school or something like that. It basically was like little girl and Rock in this moment. And Snaps, he's going on about them being the pioneers and Rock a little fish in this game and all that stuff. So Rock still ain't trying to hit none of that. She basically reiterates, like, stay away from Kanan. And then she leaves. And then Pop like, you sure all this shit with Ronnie is even worth it? And Snaps like, this ain't even about Ronnie no more. It's about us. And they ain't nobody fucking with us. So now she about to be at war with Snaps and Pop. And from what they shown us, they got some real deep pool in the game, so I don't know how Rock about to deal with this. I don't know. I don't know how she about to. We saw how she about to deal with it. Anyway, so Marvin, he catches Terry. Well, he don't even catch him. He set Terry up. Terry's in the car making out with this woman. Then we get this scene, these two white guys, they come in the alley with Luz and they drunk, he pissing outside in the alley. They come up, they try to rob him at knife point. And Lou's like, do it, motherfuckers, do it. Then she pulls out the gun. They're like, oh shit. Starts shooting everywhere. Do it. They run off. This nigga Lou shooting. He done fall on his back. The liquor spilling on his chest. I'm just like, oh man, Lou, you down bad. You pissing me off. So then we get this scene. This nigga Kanan, he's six Ronnie on his social worker. He's six Ronnie on her. He get out the car, he walk up to her. They don't show what he say, but then he get closer to her and she's stepping back. And then she scurried to her car. And Ronnie get back in the car, tells Kanan she won't be bothering you anymore. And I'm just like, oh my God. I can't believe this nigga Kanan really sicked Ronnie on her. Like, you really want to get Ronnie? That lady probably about to go right to the police. I don't know. What did he? I want to know what he said. I'm mad that they didn't give us that. What did he say? That's gonna make her not go to the police after that moment. So then we get this scene. Two girls, they run up on Juke in the subway. And Juke basically, she handles her own until one of the girls pull out a knife. So now she just like, they holding her a knife point at this point. So Rock, she goes to Panessa, Neek's baby mother. She's like, I need to find out where Ronnie getting his work from. And I was in my head like, this bitch Rock went to the right goddamn person. Because Panessa know more than what she thinks she know. So she's like, I'm trying to stay away from Ronnie. And then she brings up, he got a girl now. And Rock like, that was weird. So she like, Ronnie got a girl. And this is when Panessa tells her that she saw Juliana at his crib. She was like the lady from the bodega. So Rock get to how long this been going on? So Panessa's like, oh, I've said too much. I was like, it don't even matter, bitch. You done said enough. You done already gave her what she needed to hear. She's like, I don't got nothing else to say. You don't even have to say nothing else, sweetheart. You don't have nothing to say nothing, sweetheart. She already got what she needs to know now. Thank you. Thank you. So at rehearsals, the group and the manager, minus Juke, they waiting for Juke. She's running late. She's not there. And then Juke arrives and she all beat up. She goes up to Crystal, like basically like your homegirls ain't shit. So we found out that Crystal set that up. I was like, that's crazy because... I was about to say something else. I'm going to wait till my predictions. But that's crazy of her to do some shit like that. You that geeking for the part. She's like, your homegirls ain't shit, so are you. You ain't shit neither. So then Terry and the woman, they in this hotel. Marvin's sitting in the dark. He starts taking pictures of him, catches Terry off guard with the woman. He pays the woman who turned out to be a hooker that he hires to set Terry up. He basically threatens to show the pictures to Terry's wife if he don't play ball with them, don't go agree to their terms. So then Rock, she goes to Joaquin about Juliana working with Ronnie. You know, Joaquin, he not buying it at first because, you know, it's Rock. So he's like, oh, I got to get confirmation from my own people before I can just give you the okay. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers ruthless. He's going to kill his cousin. He talks about Juliana's husband in this conversation, but I don't think he ever mentions if his cousin is the husband or if his cousin is Juliana. Like, which one is the cousin by marriage? Which one is the cousin-in-law? I'm like, either way, you ready to kill your cousin. He's like, I just need confirmation before I could give you the okay. So Rock's like, you got to do what you got to do. I got to do what I got to do. So then we get this scene that completely shocks me. I was just like, oh no, after this scene. So Joe, the one that Marvin's trying to get back on get his life right. He had breakfast or something like that with Marvin at this diner, and he's telling Marvin that he saw he found out some stuff about Bulletproof Records, the record company that Lou was working with with Famous and the rappers and all that, and Juke and all that. So Joey brings up Bulletproof Records, and he's like, might be a good something to put in my story about Juke. And Marvin's telling him like, nah, you don't need that, leave that alone. So then Joe gets to telling Marvin, I got a friend, organized crime task force. I was just like, what the? I was so caught off guard. I was just like, man. He's trying to help you get back on your feet, and you is out here snitching on him. So he tells Marvin, like, I've heard from them that Bulletproof Records connected to the mafia. So Marvin gets this, you talking to the feds about me? So then that made me realize, I was like, oh, so that's where the organized that's where the organized task force is getting their information about Marvin from him. I was like, it all makes sense now. Some smart minds might have already knew that, but this is when I realized it. I was like, oh, that's where they got their info on Marvin from, this nigga. So now I'm thinking this nigga's an undercover, which we find out basically he is, but he also getting threatened. But we'll get to that part. So Marvin's like, you talking to the cops about me? And Joe's like, oh no, I'm just writing a piece on you. I mean, I'm writing a piece on Juke, and I need to know her upbringing, her background, this, that, and the third. I'm just doing my job. And Marvin's like, no, all those questions, you ain't doing your job. So now Marvin, I'm glad he on point now. He like, oh, I gotta watch this nigga. So then Juke, she goes to the army sergeant's office, basically saying she might want to back out of the agreement. And the sergeant is telling her, like, you signed a contract and you made a promise to your country. You wouldn't want to break that promise. So it's just like basically letting her know, like, ain't no way around it. So then the task force officers, they come to see Joe. I think one of them is Agent Tanner. I can't remember them faces of them niggas. But he like, you need to tell us something good about Marvin, or your daughter's gonna be visiting you in prison. So I'm like, what they about to lock him up for? What, child endangerment or something? That's the only thing I could think of. What did he do? Or they must got something else on him. So then Lou, he's still outside getting drunk in his car. Then we get this final scene. Rock, she's in Juliana's place, got a gun on her. Juliana's like, my cousin will have your head. And Rock's like, oh, I already talked to Joaquin, we good. So then Juliana, she tries to go for something. She's like, I can pay you. And Rock shoots her in the leg. So she falls to the floor. So then Rock, she she does her Rock thing, gives a speech. She gives a speech. I don't really remember everything she says. But in the end, she kills Juliana, shoots her up. And that's how the episode ended. And I said, this joint was real good. Because I was so happy to see Juliana get what she got damn deserved. She was so irritating. So I was glad that she got to take Juliana out. I was like, yes. But predictions for episodes to come. So as far as Juke, I feel like this performance that they got coming up, I feel like, sad to say, I feel like it's something gonna go wrong. Because she ends up being a cop, a dirty cop at that in the future. So she does end up going to the army. So we find out. So we know she ends up going to the army. So I know that somewhere down this butter line, she's not gonna want to do it no more, or it's gonna fall flat or something. And I'm assuming it's probably gonna be at this performance. It's probably not gonna go the way they think it's gonna go. The the group gonna flop, and then this is when she gonna go to the army. Or maybe she just gonna go because she has no choice, and then they gotta replace her. Who else? Like I said, I'm glad that Famous and Shirley made that deal, because I don't feel like Famous should be even fucking with Kanan. He ain't your real friend if he wants you to do some shit that you don't want to do. And then this nigga Joe, like I said, like, he might be a goddamn informant. I mean, we seeing it. He getting threatened, so like I said, I wonder what else he got on him. I'm wondering where this situation with Burke's dad and Nicole's dad is going to go. I wonder if Burke's dad going to confront Howard. And I feel like Rock she just declared war with Ronnie, so that's about to be crazy. Crazy. And then we see previews for episodes to come that it's looking like she might want to kill Lou and have Marvin do it. I'm just like, oh, Rock, this is where we is not about to fuck with you because you're not about to kill your brother. This family ruthless. Kanan done killed his son. Who else? They done killed their mans and his mother. This family is crazy. I wonder if Crystal gonna end up being Kanan's baby mother. And I'm wondering what the social worker gonna do. Like, is she really gonna, like, lay low and not say nothing? I want to know what Ronnie said. I want to know what Ronnie gonna do now when he find out Juliana dead. And you know, Snaps and Pop, it seems like they've declared war as well. So Rockers better watch out. Howard better watch out too, because Burke's dad is digging. Did I forget to talk about anybody? Yeah, I feel like that's it. Whatever. Those are my thoughts or whatever. Comment below what you would grade the episode. What are your thoughts of the episode? If I forgot anything, offer anything, let me know in the comments. And like, subscribe. I don't want to review Power. I review other shows as well. Go check out my channel. There might be something there that you didn't even know I reviewed. And then you can binge the reviews. Because I'm a funny motherfucker. But anyway, thanks for watching. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.